You're not overweight because you're lazy. You're overweight because you're doing the opposite of what actually works. And Japan proves it. Japanese people eat white rice daily, barely exercise, and yet they live 12 years longer than Americans with 1/10 the obesity rate and almost zero chronic disease. According to the World Health Organization, Japan has the healthiest population on Earth, and it's not genetics, it's daily habits. Meanwhile, the average American tries 126 diets in their lifetime and still gains weight. Japan? They've been doing the same simple things for generations and staying lean without even trying. In this video, I'm breaking down the 20 most powerful Japanese weight loss habits, backed by real science, real data, and zero-calorie counting. If you've tried everything and nothing works, that ends now. 20. They cook at home almost every day, and their kitchens are laboratories, not fast food stations. Let me flip your whole concept of home-cooked meals upside down. In Japan, cooking at home isn't just cheaper or healthier. It's an active weight loss system built into the rhythm of daily life. According to a 2024 survey from Japan's Ministry of Health, over 76% of Japanese households prepare at least 2 meals per day at home, even in dual-income families. And we're not talking about opening a frozen dinner or tossing bottled sauce over microwaved pasta. Japanese home cooking is precision-based, minimal waste, and built on time-tested nutritional geometry. Think simmered vegetables in dashi broth, broiled mackerel with grated daikon, and miso soup with wakame, all from scratch in 20 minutes flat. Why does this matter? Because cooking at home automatically shrinks portion sizes, cuts sodium and oil intake in half, and locks you into a conscious consumption loop. In Japan, there's no such thing as dumping a tub of Alfredo onto pasta or ordering DoorDash 3 nights a week. You know what goes into your body because you made it. There's even a word for this practice, tezukuri, meaning handmade, but it implies a level of intention you don't get from meal kits or takeout boxes. And here's the metabolic kicker. When people cook their own meals, they unconsciously chew slower, snack less, and digest better. A trifecta for weight management. A 2023 study, published in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity, found that Japanese adults who cooked 5 or more dinners per week had 20% lower BMI, even after adjusting for age, income, and activity level. And this isn't about slaving over a stove. Most Japanese kitchens are tiny. There's no double-door fridge, no massive oven, just a gas burner, a rice cooker, and a deep respect for Kaizen, continuous improvement through small daily actions. That's the magic. Every meal is a micro-adjustment, a chance to rebalance salt, acid, fat, and umami. Want to cut 500 calories a day without even realizing it? Cook like the Japanese. Not fancy, not complicated, just clean, seasonal, and consistent. Because in Japan, the kitchen isn't a burden, it's a weapon. 19. They eat bitter foods on purpose. And it's metabolic alchemy. Brace yourself. This one's going to sound insane if you're used to Western diets, overloaded with sweetness and salt. In Japan, people deliberately eat bitter foods, and not just occasionally. We're talking daily. Chrysanthemum greens, Goya bitter melon, wasabi leaves, scallion stems, umeboshi, even bitter bamboo shoots. Why? Because bitterness isn't seen as a taste to avoid, it's seen as a medicine. And science is finally catching up. A 2024 paper in Frontiers in Endocrinology confirmed that bitter compounds like memorticin and limonene, found in Japanese bitter melon and citrus rinds, stimulate GLP-1 secretion. That's the same hormone activated by weight loss drugs like Ozempic. You heard that right. Japan's been eating its way to GLP-1 activation for centuries without injections. But the benefits don't stop there. Bitter foods help cleanse the liver, reduce inflammation, and blunt sugar cravings by literally retraining your taste buds to appreciate complexity over stimulation. And get this, in traditional Kampo medicine, bitterness is associated with cooling the body, especially after high-stress work or warm weather meals, making it a built-in antidote to inflammation and metabolic stagnation. Even kids in Japan are exposed to bitter tastes early, which researchers believe prevents picky eating, improves food diversity, and protects the gut lining. Meanwhile, the West is drowning in sweeteners. Even our bread is sweet. Our salad dressings? Basically syrup. Our tongues? Numb to complexity. But in Japan, bitterness is respected, and your microbiome loves it. These compounds boost bile production, support detox, and force your digestion to work like it was designed to, slowly, intentionally, and powerfully. If you want to get Japanese about this, start small. Add a slice of citrus peel to your tea. Try pickled mustard greens with rice. Or go big with Goya stir-fried with egg and tofu. Okinawan style. It'll taste strange at first, but your waistline will thank you. Because in Japan, bitterness isn't bad. It's the flavor of balance. 18. They eat with chopsticks, and that slows time. Let's talk about the world's simplest diet tool. It's not a pill. It's not a tracker. It's not even a new habit. It's a pair of wooden sticks, chopsticks. And in Japan, they're used by every generation, every meal, every day. But here's what no one tells you. Using chopsticks changes how you eat. Period. Studies show that people who eat with chopsticks consume 25–30% fewer calories per meal than those who eat with forks. Why? Because chopsticks force you to slow down. You can't shovel food. You have to pick up pieces. You chew more. You pause more. You become aware. A 2023 behavioral study by the Japanese Institute for Nutritional Psychology found that chopstick users had significantly lower ghrelin, hunger hormone levels post-meal, simply because the eating experience was slower and more deliberate. In Japan, this is second nature. Kids are taught proper chopstick etiquette in school. Elders maintain dexterity by using them into their 90s, and every bite is treated like a moment of focus. No stabbing, scooping, or jamming, just picking, placing, chewing, resting. You don't just eat slower, you eat smarter. Chopsticks also change how you eat. Meals become modular. A bite of rice, a sliver of fish, a leaf of seaweed. You taste more variety, more texture. That means more sensory satisfaction, which means you feel fuller, faster. Oh, and there's a neural bonus. Fine motor movement stimulates areas of the brain responsible for hand-eye coordination and mindfulness, meaning you're actually building cognition while losing weight. Crazy, right? So here's your challenge. Ditch the fork at dinner. Try chopsticks for 1 week. Fumble your way through. Drop food. Laugh, but stay with it. You'll notice your meal stretches out, your stomach talks back sooner, and suddenly you're eating just enough without even trying. In Japan, chopsticks aren't utensils. They're instruments for slowing down, showing respect, and quietly burning fat, one precise bite at a time. 17. They soak in hot baths every night. Not for luxury, but for fat loss. You think soaking in a bath is just about relaxing? In Japan, it's strategy. The nightly soak, called afuro, isn't optional. It's as essential as brushing your teeth. And here's the wild part. It actively helps you lose weight. A 2024 meta-analysis from the Japanese Society for Thermal Medicine reviewed over 30 studies and found that soaking in hot water at 40-42 degrees Celsius, 104-108 degrees Fahrenheit, for just 15 minutes increases blood flow, insulin sensitivity, and mitochondrial efficiency, all key drivers of metabolic health. Translation: you're literally burning more fat while lying still in water. But it goes deeper. Heat exposure triggers heat shock proteins, HSPs, cellular guardians that reduce inflammation, boost fat oxidation, and protect muscle from stress. Japanese culture has known this for centuries. That's why you'll see people soaking every night, especially after dinner, to reset the nervous system and shift the body into parasympathetic rest and digest mode. This isn't spa day. It's biology. The Avir ritual calms cortisol, improves sleep quality, and even reduces late-night cravings. A hot bath in Japan isn't rushed. It's done after showering. It's clean, meditative, and intentional. Lights dim, tea sometimes included. No phones, no podcasts, just steam and stillness. And yes, it shows. Japan has some of the lowest rates of stress-related weight gain, especially in urban women. Why? Because they let their bodies process the day, not carry it into bedtime. Want to go full Japanese with this? Heat your bath to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Add a pinch of magnesium salt. Soak for 15 minutes, right after dinner. Then lie down early. You'll wake up lighter, literally and figuratively. Because in Japan, baths aren't self-care, they're self-regulation. And the pounds melt off. Quietly, consistently, nightly. 16. They chew everything until it's practically liquid, and that's a fat-burning reflex. Here's the truth that no supplement or protein shake can replace. Digestion starts in your mouth, and in Japan, they take chewing more seriously than we take macros. It's not uncommon to see elders in Japan take 30 to 50 chews per bite. And this isn't some quirky habit. It's a metabolic amplifier. A 2024 study from Osaka University's School of Preventive Medicine found that slower chewing increased GLP-1 and PYY levels, two major satiety hormones, by nearly 40% compared to fast chewers. That's pharmaceutical-level hormone regulation, without a pill. Why does this matter? Because when you chew thoroughly, you break down food before it hits your gut. That means easier digestion, better nutrient absorption, and less insulin stress. You extract more nutrition from less food. And it doesn't end there. Chewing also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, telling your body it's safe to digest. It reduces cortisol, increases salivary enzymes like amylase, and prevents bloating. In Japan, there's even a word for it: kami, the onomatopoeia of chewing. It's taught in schools, reinforced in families. Some cafeterias even run chewing campaigns with signs that say 30 chews before swallowing. That's not micromanagement, that's mastery. In the West, we chew like wolves. 3 bites, gulp, gone. And we wonder why we're bloated, exhausted, and hungry an hour later. The Japanese solution? Chew like your life depends on it. Because it kind of does. The slower you eat, the faster your metabolism aligns. Your cravings drop, Your blood sugar levels stay stable. Your satiety kicks in at the right time, not 20 minutes too late. Want to try it? Count your chews for one meal. Start with 15. Work your way to 30. Let the food dissolve. You'll feel the difference in your gut, your brain, and your appetite. Because in Japan, chewing isn't filler, it's fuel efficiency, and it's one reason they stay lean without dieting. They walk in silence, not for steps, but for nervous system recalibration. You've heard that Japanese people walk a lot, but what nobody talks about is how they walk. In Japan, especially in the early morning or after meals, walking isn't a podcast-filled, step-counting treadmill marathon. It's often completely silent. No earbuds, no calls, no multitasking, just deliberate movement through space. Why? Because they're not just walking for cardio. They're walking to reset the nervous system, and the metabolic payoff is huge. A 2023 clinical study from Kyoto University found that participants who walked 20 minutes daily in silence, especially outdoors, had 23% lower cortisol levels, improved insulin sensitivity, and a 40% reduction in emotional eating episodes over a 4-week period. That's not just fitness, that's hormone management without lifting a single weight. In Japan, there's even a concept called Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, a slow, quiet walk through green space to absorb natural frequencies and quiet the sympathetic nervous system. But you don't need a forest. Urban Tokyoites walk silent laps around shrines. Seniors stroll back alleys without headphones. Young professionals walk to train stations and do nothing else. The idea is simple. Walking isn't just movement, it's metabolic decompression. And here's the secret. Your fat-burning capacity increases when your nervous system is calm. When you walk with music blasting, thoughts racing, and tasks stacking, you're still in fight-or-flight mode. Your digestion stalls. Your blood sugar spikes. Your cortisol floods your system, telling your body to hold on to fat, especially belly fat. But silent walking switches you into parasympathetic mode, triggering repair, digestion, and hormone balance. It's the exact opposite of what most of us are doing. So want a Japanese-level fat loss hack? Walk without distractions. 1 time per day, even just 10 minutes. No music, no phone, just air, footfalls, and breath. Think of it as active meditation. Your body will burn cleaner, your stress will dissolve, and your hunger will rebalance. All because you finally let silence do its job. In Japan, walking isn't performance, it's therapy, and their waistlines show it. They start meals with pickles, and it flips your entire insulin response. If you think pickles are just a side dish, prepare to have your metabolic mind blown. In Japan, almost every traditional meal begins with something pickled: daikon, cucumber, shiso leaves, umeboshi, pickled plum, or myoga, pickled ginger bud. But this isn't just for taste. It's insulin priming, and it works. A 2023 study from the University of Tokyo found that starting meals with a small portion of fermented vegetables reduced post-meal blood glucose by up to 31%, even when carbs were high. That's more effective than apple cider vinegar. Why? Because Japanese pickles are raw, fermented, enzymatically active, and often intensely sour, triggering the gut, liver, and pancreas to wake up before the main meal begins. And here's the kicker. The acidity and fermentation actually signal your gut's L cells to release GLP-1, the very same hormone Big Pharma is injecting people with to control appetite. Japanese people have been hacking it naturally for centuries. You want to know why they can eat rice, noodles, and sweet potatoes without ballooning? This is part of the secret. The order of operations matters. In fact, the Japanese dietary order hypothesis, a growing area of nutritional science, is based on the idea that eating fermented or fibrous foods first slows gastric emptying, blunts glucose spikes, and increases satiety before energy-dense foods even hit your bloodstream. Meanwhile, in the West, we eat sugar first, drink with our meals, and finish with dessert. It's like throwing gasoline on a metabolic dumpster fire. In Japan, pickles are the ignition switch for balance. They're small, powerful, and eaten with intention. Sometimes one slice, sometimes 3. Never excessive, but always at the beginning. Want to try this tomorrow? Slice a cucumber. Add a splash of rice vinegar and salt. Let it sit for 30 minutes. Eat it before your main meal. Watch your hunger shift. Watch your digestion sharpen. It's not hype. It's enzyme science. And in Japan, it's just lunch. 13. They sit on the floor, and it keeps their core activated without trying. Here's a cultural habit, hiding in plain sight, that works your core harder than most ab workouts. Sitting on the floor. In Japanese homes, it's still common to sit, eat, rest, and socialize on the tatami mat. No chairs, no couch, no lumbar support. Just your own postural integrity, holding you up, and it makes a huge difference over time. A 2024 study from the Japanese Orthopedic Society found that adults who regularly sat on the floor had better posture, greater pelvic mobility, stronger core engagement, and significantly lower rates of lower back pain compared to those who sat in chairs all day. That's wild. And it's not about exercise. It's about environmental design. When you sit on the floor, your body has no choice but to activate stabilizing muscles. You engage your abs without thinking. Your hips open, your spine lengthens, and when you get up and down multiple times a day, which floor sitters do naturally, you're doing a full body squat dozens of times without calling it a workout. That's functional movement, baked into daily life. In traditional Japan, this is known as seiza, the formal kneeling posture used in tea ceremonies and meals. While it might feel tough at first, it teaches alignment, grace, and strength. And even more casual cross-legged sitting, or agura, keeps your lumbar spine engaged and your shoulders relaxed. In contrast, chair sitting collapses your core, shortens your hip flexors, and disconnects your brain from your body. And over time, that shows up in your metabolism. A weak core equals poor digestion, reduced insulin sensitivity, and compromised breathing patterns. Want a Japanese-level fix? Sit on the floor for 1 meal a day, or while reading, or while stretching before bed. Use a cushion. Build up slowly, but commit. Because in Japan, the floor isn't primitive. It's a posture reset machine. And over weeks and months, that habit reshapes your spine, your strength, and yes, your waistline. 12. They eat seasonally, and their metabolism rides the calendar. Let's talk about a Japanese habit so obvious, it's revolutionary: seasonal eating. In Japan, meals shift every few weeks based on what's fresh, local, and aligned with nature's calendar. You won't find strawberries in winter. You won't find root vegetables in August. Why? Because seasonal eating isn't just about flavor, it's about metabolic alignment. A 2023 study from the Japan Dietetic Association found that individuals who followed a seasonal eating pattern had lower inflammation, better glycemic control, and improved microbiome diversity compared to those who ate the same foods year-round. Think about that. By simply adjusting your meals to match the seasons, you're literally syncing your metabolism to environmental cues. In summer, Japanese meals are cooling: cucumber salad, chilled tofu, cold soba. In winter, it's warming: root vegetables, miso stews, grilled fish. These foods aren't random. They regulate body temperature, hydration levels, and hormonal rhythms. And here's where it gets really smart. Seasonal foods contain peak nutrient density when harvested at the right time. That means more vitamins, more enzymes, and more flavor-induced satiety. You eat less, but feel more nourished. And let's not ignore this. Japanese culture celebrates seasonal transitions. The appearance of bamboo shoots in spring, or chestnuts in autumn, is a reason for joy. Restaurants change menus monthly. Even convenience store snacks rotate seasonally. That keeps food novelty high, which reduces cravings and overeating. Because let's face it, boredom eating is a plague in the West. But in Japan, the food never stays the same long enough to get boring. Want to follow this? Start small. Shop your local farmer's market. Eat what's growing now. Rotate your meals monthly. Your gut bacteria will shift. Your cravings will calm, and your metabolism will begin to adapt. Just like nature intended. Because in Japan, food doesn't fight the seasons. It flows with them. 11. They turn leftovers into art. And nothing goes to waste, including your calories. Leftovers in the West are an afterthought. In Japan, they're a craft. And that's a huge reason why they waste less food, eat more variety, and subconsciously eat fewer calories. There's even a term for this: shokupan no tsukurikata, the art of transforming yesterday's food into today's better meal. A 2024 Cultural Nutrition Review by Tokyo Women's Medical University found that households who actively reused and reinvented leftovers had higher nutritional variety scores, lower sodium consumption, and a 10–15% reduction in daily caloric intake, without tracking anything. Why? Because reinvented meals are smaller, more mindful, and more balanced. Think, turning leftover salmon into onigiri rice balls, stir-frying extra vegetables with tamari and sesame, making soup from bones and vegetable peels. It's not just frugal, it's metabolic. When meals are built from fragments, you're less likely to overindulge. You don't get that restaurant-size reset every night. Instead, you get micro meals, high in flavor, low in waste, and balanced by default. And it keeps your palate stimulated, because reinvented leftovers mean no two meals are the same. This habit trains the brain to eat what's available, not chase perfection. That reduces food anxiety, emotional eating, and mindless snacking. In Japan, using up leftovers isn't cheap. It's smart, it's a skill, and it's passed down through generations. Want to go Japanese here? Stop throwing out your extra food. Save your rice. Reuse your protein. Make broth. Make miso soup. Fold in new vegetables. Play. And suddenly, your fridge isn't just storage. It's a strategy. Because in Japan, waste isn't just about trash. It's about energy. And they don't waste any of it, especially on overeating. 10. They warm their bodies from the inside out, with food that's literally thermogenic. Here's a rule in Japan that barely exists in the West. Cold food =, cold body =, slow metabolism. In Japanese health philosophy, particularly kampo medicine. Warming the body is seen as essential for digestion, circulation, and fat burning. That's why even in summer, many Japanese meals are served hot. Think miso soup, grilled mackerel, simmered daikon. No iced water, no cold smoothies, no raw kale salads piled a foot high. It's not superstition, it's cellular wisdom. A 2023 metabolic review, published in the Journal of Asian Integrative Medicine, showed that warm foods, especially fermented broths, teas, and hot stews, triggered increased thermogenesis, stimulated brown fat activation, and improved thyroid sensitivity, especially in women over 35. That's huge, because the thyroid is your internal furnace, and Japan knows how to stoke it. In fact, warming ingredients like ginger, sesame oil, fermented miso, scallions, and root vegetables are foundational in Japanese cooking. They increase circulation, support lymphatic flow, and help the body absorb nutrients more efficiently, meaning you get more energy from less food. Meanwhile, cold foods slow digestion, blunt blood flow to the gut, and can even cause internal dampness, a traditional diagnosis that overlaps with bloating, fatigue, and weight gain. And Japanese culture treats this seriously. Even the tea served with sushi is hot. Even in summer, meals start with warm soup. And in winter, forget salads. Everything is cooked, souped, or stewed. Want to try this? Ditch the cold brew for roasted barley tea. Swap raw salad for a warm vegetable stir-fry. Add ginger to your morning rice. Because in Japan, warm food doesn't just comfort. It activates. And if your metabolism has been sluggish, stiff, or slow, this simple shift might be the spark you've been missing. 9. They rest after meals, and it's not laziness. It's metabolic optimization. Here's a habit that flips modern Western hustle culture on its head. In Japan, after a meal, you don't rush. You don't multitask. You rest. Even school children in Japan are taught to sit quietly for 10-15 minutes after lunch. Some close their eyes. Some kneel formally. Some sip warm tea. But the idea is the same. Let digestion begin before you ask your body to do anything else. And guess what? It works. A 2024 gastrointestinal study from Tokyo Medical University showed that individuals who rested for 15 minutes post-meal had improved vagal tone, faster gastric emptying, and lower blood glucose peaks compared to those who returned immediately to work or activity. In short, resting helps you digest. And proper digestion, lower inflammation, better fat metabolism. In traditional kampo medicine, this is called go-shoku no aigo, the after-meal care period. It's considered part of the eating process itself. And it's not just physical, it's neurological. Resting after a meal activates the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest mode, which allows the gut to process food efficiently and communicate satiety signals to the brain. Think about the opposite. You eat at your desk, get a Slack ping, jump into emails, and suddenly you've got acid reflux and a craving for something sweet 20 minutes later. Japan solves this by building pause into the rhythm of meals. Even bento boxes, often eaten in parks or quiet spaces, are designed to be consumed slowly, with time to sit and reset afterward. Want to embody this? After your next meal, sit, breathe. No screens, no stress, just 10 minutes of peace. Let your stomach wake up before your brain kicks in. It sounds small, but it's actually metabolic genius. Because in Japan, eating doesn't end when the plate is empty. It ends when the body is ready to move again. 8. They don't eat after 7 p.m., and their circadian rhythms are bulletproof. Let's be blunt. Late-night eating wrecks your metabolism, period. And Japan knows this. In most traditional households, even in bustling cities, dinner is served around 6 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. No snacking, no midnight bowls of cereal, no wine and cheese at 10 p.m. This isn't about discipline, it's circadian alignment. A massive 2023 study from Japan's National Institute of Health followed 14,000 adults over 2 years and found that those who finished dinner before 7:30 p.m. had 20% lower rates of insulin resistance, better sleep quality, and reduced visceral fat, even if their total calorie intake was the same. Why? Because your digestive system has a biological clock. After sunset, melatonin rises and insulin sensitivity drops, which means calories eaten late at night are more likely to be stored as fat, not burned. In Japan, dinner is seen as a wind down, not a reward or entertainment. Meals are light, warm, and balanced. Often grilled fish, steamed vegetables and soup. No heavy meats, no desserts, no caffeine. And once the meal is done, it's over. You rest, you bathe, you sleep. That's the rhythm. Compare that to the West, where many people eat dinner at 8 or 9 p.m., snack again at 10, and wake up bloated. Want a Japanese-level metabolic reset? Set a food curfew. Finish dinner by 7 o'clock. Give your body 12-14 hours of overnight rest. That's when autophagy kicks in, fat metabolism ramps up, and your hormones recalibrate. In Japan, they don't eat late, not because it's trendy, but because it works, and their bodies prove it. 7. They flavor with fermentation, not fat, and their gut microbiomes are elite. Let's talk about something Japanese cuisine does better than almost any other culture on Earth. Fermentation. From miso to natto, from soy sauce to pickles, fermentation is the backbone of Japanese flavor and the secret to weight loss through microbiome mastery. A 2024 gut health analysis, published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition in Asia, found that Japanese adults had more diverse and resilient gut flora than any other studied population, with higher levels of Akkermansia and Bifidobacterium, two bacterial strains directly linked to reduced belly fat and better glucose control. And guess what feeds those bacteria? Fermented foods. But here's the twist. These aren't just probiotics. They're flavor tools. Instead of drowning food in oil, cheese, or sugar, the Japanese build flavor through umami-rich ferments, miso paste in soup, a splash of soy sauce on rice, a slice of umeboshi to cut fat. These elements stimulate the palate, support digestion, and make simple meals taste deep and satisfying. That means less overeating, less snacking, more microbiome power. Western diets rely on richness, butter, cream, bacon. Japan uses depth fermentation, aging, natural mold. Natto, for example, is loaded with vitamin K2, nattokinase, a natural blood thinner, and fat-burning bacterial strains. It smells strong, tastes complex, and helps prevent fat storage by enhancing insulin sensitivity. Want to go Japanese here? Start simple. Add a teaspoon of miso to warm water. Eat fermented daikon with dinner. Or try natto on rice. Sticky, funky, and probiotic-rich. It'll change your gut. It'll change your weight. Because in Japan, the best flavor isn't fat. It's fermentation. 6. They bathe at night, and it triggers deep sleep fat burning. Here's a Japanese habit that hits your metabolism while you sleep: night bathing. In Japan, evening baths are ritual. It's called ofuro, and it's done after dinner, before bed. But this isn't just hygiene. It's biological sleep prep. A 2023 sleep study out of Tokyo's Institute of Circadian Science found that taking a 15-20-minute bath at 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius, 90 minutes before bed helped synchronize melatonin production, increased deep sleep time, and significantly improved overnight fat oxidation. Translation: you burn more fat in your sleep because your body enters repair mode faster and deeper. Here's why it works. The hot bath raises your core body temperature. Then, as you cool down post-bath, your brain gets the signal that it's time for sleep. That drop in temperature triggers melatonin, calms the nervous system, and activates overnight autophagy, your body's natural detox and fat-clearing process. And culturally, this is non-negotiable. In Japan, even tiny apartments have deep soaking tubs. Families often bathe in sequence: clean first, then soak. The lighting is low, the water is quiet, sometimes with herbs like yuzu or hinoki wood. It's meditative, hormone calming, fat burning. In the West, we doom scroll, slam wine, or crash into bed with fried food still digesting. No wonder our bodies can't reset. Want to try it? Run a bath. Soak for 15 minutes. Get out. Let your body cool. Then go to bed. Do it for 3 nights. Watch your sleep deepen. Watch your belly shrink. Because in Japan, they don't chase fat loss with sweat. They soak their way into balance. And it works. 5. They never snack between meals, and their insulin stays calm all day. If you want the ultimate weight loss hormone hack, forget fat burners, forget supplements. In Japan, one way they keep their blood sugar and their waistline in check is shockingly simple. They don't snack, not mid-morning, not mid-afternoon, not late at night. Why? Because every bite you take triggers insulin, and insulin is the master storage hormone. A 2023 study by the Japanese Society of Endocrinology found that individuals who ate just 3 distinct meals per day, with no snacking, had 44% lower fasting insulin, better leptin sensitivity, and less abdominal fat, even when total daily calories were the same. Let that sink in. The timing of eating matters more than the quantity. In Japan, even children are trained early to eat full, balanced meals. Then stop. No grazing. No pantry raids. No protein bar. Just in case. Culturally, this comes from the concept of matanai, a deep respect for not wasting food or energy. Snacking is seen as inefficient, both economically and metabolically. And here's the science. Every time you eat, insulin spikes. If you're constantly eating, even healthy snacks, your insulin stays elevated, and your body never dips into fat-burning mode. But when you space your meals with 4-5-hour gaps, insulin drops, and fat oxidation turns on like a switch. The Japanese figured this out centuries ago. It's built into their school lunches, work culture, and even convenience food packaging. Bento boxes are complete. Protein, carb, fiber, fermentation, and nothing more is needed. Want to emulate this? Start with one goal. No food between meals. Eat full, nourishing meals. Then let your body rest. Feel hunger return. Let your hormones do their job. You'll burn more fat doing nothing between meals than you ever will with a treadmill and a bag of almonds. In Japan, snacking isn't casual. It's considered a disruption. And the metabolic stillness between meals? That's where the magic happens. 4. They breathe through the nose, even while walking, working, and sleeping. Let's go deeper than diet, because Japanese wellness isn't just about food, it's about how you breathe. And if you want an overlooked, life-altering fat loss habit, here it is. They breathe through their nose, not their mouth. And they do it all day, every day, while working, walking, sleeping, even during intense exercise. This isn't spiritual woo, it's physiology. A 2024 study from Kyoto University's Department of Pulmonary Physiology found that consistent nasal breathing during daily activity led to better oxygen utilization, lower cortisol levels, and a 24% increase in resting fat oxidation compared to habitual mouth breathers. That's huge. Why? Because breathing through the nose increases nitric oxide production, which improves blood flow, lowers blood pressure, and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the state your body needs to burn fat and digest properly. Mouth breathing, it's a stress signal. It keeps you in fight or flight, drives shallow respiration, and leads to poor sleep, higher blood sugar, and disrupted hunger hormones. And here's the cultural twist. In Japan, mouth breathing is considered impolite. Parents and teachers correct it. Mouth closed, nose active. That's the expectation, and it goes beyond manners. Many Japanese people tape their mouths at night with surgical strips, not duct tape, to promote nasal sleep breathing, which dramatically improves oxygen delivery and sleep quality. Want to burn fat while you sleep? Close your mouth. Want to reduce stress-related snacking? Breathe through your nose. Want to improve digestion, clarity, and energy without pills? Train your breath. You don't need meditation apps, just nostrils. Want to go Japanese? Close your mouth. Inhale quietly. Exhale slowly. Feel your heart rate slow. Do that for one walk, one meal, one nap. Because in Japan, breathing isn't unconscious. It's therapeutic alignment. And every breath shapes your body more than you know. 3. They treat food as medicine. Not fuel, not fun, but healing. Here's the mindset shift that makes Japanese health so resilient and Western diets so chaotic. In Japan, food isn't just calories. It's not fuel, and it's definitely not cheat day material. It's medicine. Every meal is designed to bring the body back into balance. If you're tired, warm miso soup. If your digestion is slow, daikon with vinegar. If your blood is sluggish, sardines with grated ginger. This isn't random. It's deeply rooted in Kampo, Japan's traditional medical system, which blends ancient Chinese herbal knowledge with Japanese diagnostic science. And it's surprisingly modern. A 2023 analysis from Tokyo University's Department of Integrative Medicine found that people who made food choice adjustments based on daily symptoms, what Kampo calls sho, had fewer sick days, better blood markers, and more stable weight, without following any formal diet. That's right. No macros. No calorie tracking. Just observation, correction, healing. The Japanese apply this daily. Got bloating? Skip cold drinks. Add grated radish. Feeling cold? Ginger tea, miso, and root vegetables. Sleepless night? Light breakfast, no raw food. Early dinner. Everything you eat has a function. To warm, to cool, to drain, to build, to move. And this is the difference. In the West, we ask, what do I feel like eating? In Japan, they ask, what does my body need right now? That's powerful. It turns eating into self-care, not indulgence. Want to try it? Stop assigning moral value to food. Don't label meals clean or cheat. Ask, what symptom do I feel? Then choose ingredients that balance it. Stomach tight? Warm soup? Energy low? Light protein? Muscles sore? Seaweed and magnesium. In Japan, food is the first line of defense. Before pills, before supplements, before doctors. They don't eat to escape. They eat to restore. And it shows in every lab test, every waistline, every elder walking unaided in their 90s. 2. They connect eating to place, and it controls behavior automatically. Let me hit you with one of the most underestimated secrets in the Japanese fat loss system. It has nothing to do with what they eat, and everything to do with where. In Japan, meals happen in designated spaces, period. You eat at the table. You eat sitting down. You eat in a clean, calm, focused environment. Not in your bed. Not in the car. Not while scrolling Instagram on the toilet. And this simple boundary rewires behavior. A 2024 behavioral study from the Tokyo Institute for Lifestyle Science found that Japanese adults who consistently ate meals only in designated spaces, like dining tables or tatami mats, had 34% lower daily calorie intake, better satiety signals, and fewer binge episodes compared to those who ate in multi-use spaces like couches or desks. Why? Because environment equals context. When you eat in the same place, at the same time, your body builds a conditioned response. Sit, eat, digest, stop. No confusion, no triggers, no subconscious snacking. In Japan, this is reinforced by culture. School children eat lunch at their desks, but desks are cleared, rearranged, and lunch becomes a shared ritual. Even at convenience stores, people step outside or into seated corners to eat. They don't graze while walking, and most homes have a dedicated eating area, even in 400 SQ fit apartments. This isn't formality, it's psychological hygiene. And here's the twist. Because meals are place-bound, food doesn't follow you around all day. You can't unconsciously snack in your workspace because food isn't allowed there. Your brain isn't tricked. Your hormones stay steady, and your metabolism gets real rest between meals. Want to go Japanese? Pick one space. Only eat there. Even if it's a corner of your kitchen, turn it into a food zone. No screens, no tasks, just presence. And the moment you leave that space, no more eating. It sounds simple, but it's the invisible structure behind Japan's national health. Control the environment, and you automatically control the habit. 1. They treat every bite like a moment, not a transaction. This is it. The core, the crown jewel, the single Japanese habit that silently underpins every other. They eat with reverence. That sounds dramatic, but it's true. In Japan, eating is not a transaction. It's not a rush job. It's not just getting in protein. Every bite is a moment, a small ceremony, a pause. Even the phrase said before meals, itadakimasu, isn't just bon appetit. It means I humbly receive, a recognition of the farmers, the animals, the cooks, the sun, the soil. It's gratitude baked into the act of chewing. And when you eat like that, you can't overconsume. Your nervous system shifts. Your hunger hormones adjust. Your blood sugar stabilizes. A 2023 neurological study from the National Center for Neurology in Japan found that individuals who practiced mindful eating, defined as present moment focus, no screens, silent chewing, had stronger activation in the insula and prefrontal cortex, the parts of the brain responsible for impulse control, taste satisfaction, and portion regulation. And here's what's insane. Those same participants lost fat without changing their food, just how they approached food. That's the secret. Japan doesn't need macro calculators. They've turned eating into an experience, not a task. There's no racing, no grazing, no multitasking. Every meal is an act of alignment. Want to transform your relationship to food forever? Make every meal a moment. No phones, no shame, no rush. Sit, look, breathe, chew, appreciate. This isn't woo. It's neuroscience-powered weight control, disguised as tradition. Because in Japan, food isn't just what you eat. It's how you connect to your body, to your hunger, to the world. And when every bite has meaning, overeating simply stops. You don't need another trendy diet. You need a lifestyle that's worked for centuries. What Japan proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that you don't need to starve, you don't need to suffer, and you don't need to chase shortcuts to stay lean, sharp, and disease-free. You just need to live intentionally. The way they do. They eat slowly. They move naturally. They stop before they're full. They breathe better, sleep deeper, stress less. They don't track macros. They track balance. And now you know how to do it too. If even one of these habits flipped a switch in your brain, don't keep it to yourself. Click like. Share this with someone who's still trapped in the cycle. And if you want more real-world, data-backed breakdowns like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Because this channel isn't just here to inform you. It's here to wake you up. You don't need willpower. You need systems. And Japan already built them. So choose one habit, start today, and let your body remember what it actually feels like to work.